Return, reset, reboard. Where do we even start? What do leaders need to know about the employee experience when it comes to reboarding employees after the coronavirus pandemic? Well, here's one thing we know. People support a world they help create. That's why, as companies begin to reimagine and redesign work in a COVID-19 world, our advice is that the best decisions are made at the level they'll be executed. And people don't argue with their own ideas. The shifting expectations and priorities of today require our best thinking. All of us. As we continue to redefine the way we work, new rules, tools, processes, and procedures are needed. It's not uncommon in times like these for leaders to make those decisions behind closed doors for speed and simplicity. Don't. According to Root Incorporated, nearly 70% of initiatives fail because of people-related issues. Adding diverse and inclusive viewpoints lead to better decision-making and results, one conversation at a time. So what does reboarding look like? No matter what you call the current return to work phase in this COVID-19 reality, one thing is certain: conversations need to happen. Now, the first conversation leaders need to have is with themselves. You see, many organizations experienced a dramatic shift in how they operated, simply out of necessity. Now that things are slowly getting back to what many want to call normal, now is a great time to reassess your purpose, your mission. Have there been shifts that will be permanent? Is your mission still the same? Articulating that clearly and often are the keys to achieving alignment and engagement, not only with those who are coming back into the office, but with all of your people. This may require a little bit of vulnerability on your part, and that's okay. Continue to keep your finger on the pulse for safety concerns. With safety very likely as the #1 expectation, identifying who returns to a work site, by when and under what condition requires careful planning based on guidelines and the most current recommendations. That's only half the battle. It's also essential to consider your employees' emotional temperature. Despite all the safety precautions and the rhetoric you often hear on the evening news, many people are still nervous and possibly not willing to return to an office environment. Fear is real, and safety is personal. If your employees don't think it's safe, there's a problem. Survey early and often. Ask questions and form advisory groups to get people involved. Communicating and implementing workplace safety measures is challenging, so inclusion is critical to success. Speaking of inclusion, remember, the more people feel listened to and appreciated for the unique value they bring by their management and coworkers alike, the more readily they'll step up and step into making a difference for themselves, their coworkers, their customers, the company, all of it. So when you're asking, are you simply giving lip service, or do you really value diversity of thought and want everyone to feel and be included? There's never been a more critical time for leaders to coach for clarity, connection, and direction. The vast majority of us went through a big change to how we work, from enjoying that commute, which was used to create that disconnect between work and home, to having it all blurred together, dogs, cats, and children all thrown into the mix. And while many have adapted well to working virtually, there's also been a clear trend developing. The shift to remote work has shrunk people's networks dramatically. Being intentional with networking and connection will also help make this reboarding successful for you and your people. I read a quote in Harvard Business Review many years ago that sums up these thoughts quite nicely. Ultimately, a company's value is just the sum of the decisions it makes and executes. Conversations that reset our expectations, priorities, and how we spend our time will determine our future. So let's make the best decisions together, one conversation at a time.